Welcome, welcome. I have some incredible ladies up here. If you have not already met or seen them, welcome to them. But they're going to introduce themselves in just a moment. But you guys, I'm so excited for this webinar today. And I'm so happy that I get to be the one that's bringing it to you. So welcome, everyone. My name is Alexa, COO here at BPM REIA. That is Broward, Palm Beach, Miami-Dade Real Estate Investors Association, your only local and approved chapter here in South Florida that is in compliance and partnered with the National Real Estate Investors Association. It's just funny for me to see a niche in the chat and for me to be the one teaching this class today. But you guys, I'm gonna do my absolute best to just get you guys the information that these women have. So just to let you know, this is going to be a women panel webinar today. We're going to be really highlighting our women in real estate, power, business, and investing, all the amazing topics and things that these women can provide for us in their experience. So just to get us started on an amazing note, I actually will be raffling a free membership today. So somebody is actually going to get paid for attending this webinar. So if you want to enter the webinar, all you need to do is text the word membership to 954-800-6961. The details are on the screen right now and in the chat as well. I'll be putting helpful links. Well, Anish and I will both be putting helpful links in the chat today throughout the session. So please go enter, and I will announce the winner at the very end of the webinar today. So good luck. Go text the word membership to that number you see on the screen. Details are in the chat as well. So go. Our upcoming events, you guys, we have so many awesome events coming up, and you all know that you can always count on me adding more. I'm always adding more events to the calendar. So go to the website, go to bpmreia.com. I really want to let you guys know that this week we have two in-person workshops. If you want to network, if you want to learn, if you want to be in the right place with the right people, you must attend the workshops. This Thursday, we have a workshop in Boca. I'm actually in the location of this workshop right now, doing this webinar. I am at the Kai's office in Boca, the Kai's Keyes office in Boca. We're going to talk about how to analyze properties for investment success. So please register on our website. Go to bpmreia.com. You'll see the event there. It's this Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we will be raffling a free seat to our 2-day quick start. If you go, you have a chance to win a free seat to the quick start. Like, it's a no-brainer. You must register and attend that workshop. This Saturday, if you are in Miami-Dade, we are coming out. We're coming to you. We're going to be at the Miami Airport West Doral Marriott there, core courtyard. 20 ways to invest in real estate. It's free. Doral, 10 a.m. to 12. You must register. You must attend. We will also be raffling a free seat to our 2-day quick start. So you guys, it's worth it. I'm telling you, to get out there, to learn, to network, and have a chance to win a free seat to the boot camp. It's a no-brainer. If you're available, you have to go. So go register for those. Next week, we have an awesome webinar with Next Mill Mastermind. We're going to talk about the 6 exclusive tools, AI tools to skyrocket your real estate investment success. And that was actually a workshop a few weeks ago that a lot of you were calling me and emailing me to get this as a webinar. So we listened and we did it. Go register for that webinar. It's going to be incredible. And it was, requested by popular demand. So you're welcome. Our next quarterly meeting, it's coming up. And guys, I promise I'm going to wrap this thing up really quickly. But our next quarterly meeting, it's April 2nd, Nova Southeastern University. We're going to be networking. We're going to be learning. It's free for members and non-members, $15. So make sure you register. Go get your membership. If you haven't already gotten your membership yet, for your 1-year membership, go get that so that you can get your free ticket for the April 2nd networking meeting. It's literally coming around the corner. So please go get your ticket now, and we'll have a great time, snacks, all the good stuff, networking, just vendors, It'll be phenomenal. And then following that, we'll have the in-person workshop at Nova Southeastern University, Saturday, April 5th, all day with Anthony Chara. We're going to be focusing on apartment investing. So multifamily investing for the month of April. So we'll see you there, all my multifamily people, apartments people. You're definitely going to want to be there for those two events on April 2nd and April 5th. So go get registered right now on our website. My favorite way to keep up with events, it's super easy. All you need to do is text BPM REIA, all one word, no spaces, to our event line, which is 954-800-6961. And then you will get those text message updates for our upcoming events with the registration link. Super easy, super convenient. We absolutely love it. Our boot camp, it's coming up in just a couple months, May 17th and 18th. That's going to be our next 2-day quick start, where we talk about wholesaling, flipping, rehabbing. We have 4 incredible guest speakers on that training. They're all local business owners, all key people of our power team here at BPM REIA. They all help us get each and every deal through, with our coaches, with our students. It's an absolutely incredible training, and I would say it is the safest training that you can take. After the first day, it's a money back guarantee. If this is not for you, you get your money back. So highly recommend it. Go check out bpmquickstart.com. Link is in the chat for you guys. And thank you so much for responding to the poll that Anish popped up here. I really appreciate that. And it definitely, these polls give me a better insight of where you guys are at. So I really appreciate that. Half of you are interested and half of you have already attended the training. So that's super helpful. And I really appreciate that information, you guys. And the polls are anonymous. So really appreciate it. All right, members, as you guys know, you get all the goodies. You get in free for those 4 quarterly networking meetings that we have per year. Your guests come in at a discount. You get discounts on all the workshops that we do charge for. And then you get that amazing benefit package through the National REIA, discounts to Home Depot, Rent Perfect, Avis, Budget, Millennial Insurance, Camma Plan, the list goes on. So if you haven't gotten your membership yet, you're definitely going to want to get it before the April 2nd meeting. So I would really recommend that you get your memberships now, so that you're all ready to go and you have access to those benefits. You start saving money and you also get in free for those quarterly networking meetings like the one coming up on April 2nd. So last but very not least, mentoring and coaching here at BPM REIA. Some of you may know that we offer one-on-one coaching and mentoring. Some of you may not. For those that have no idea what I'm talking about, I highly recommend you go book a discovery call on our website here, bpmreia.com. Go to the website, book a discovery call. You'll be reserving a 30-minute slot with me where I can give you the breakdown of everything that we include in the mentoring and coaching programs that we offer, as well as the pricing information. I want to get this information in your hands so that you can start analyzing it and seeing if our program is a good fit for you and is going to get you to your goals in real estate investing. So please go book your call with me right now. I want to go and I want to speak with you guys and I want to see how I can help. And then, of course, I'll be more than happy to book this free consultation with you and a mentor so you can really get into the nitty-gritty details of our programs. So you guys, I have this code here on the screen. This is a QR code. If you're interested in funding your education, we have access to this third-party funding. I also have my email in the chat for you guys. If you prefer that I email this link over to you, that's not a problem. I'm more than happy to do that. But if you want to go ahead and fund your education, you're interested in the third-party funding, all you need is a minimum 620 credit score, $35,000 verifiable income, soft credit pull, and it will be a same-day response as long as you're doing this during business hours. So that's there for you guys if you need it. And I always, always want to take a moment to thank the National REIA for absolutely everything they provide. We are so grateful. We're always looking forward to the things that they have going on. They have a ton of resources on their website, which I will drop in the chat right now. I know that we just sent out an email to everyone. I want to say yesterday that they uploaded the recordings for the conference that we just attended. So go ahead and check out the website to find those recordings. It's on the National REIA U channel. So they have all of the recordings from the conference that we just attended on the cruise, the Royal Caribbean cruise. So go check that out. There were some awesome presentations there, some presentations that I might even want to bring back to you guys. So maybe don't watch them. I'm just kidding. You guys can definitely watch those if you'd like. But just so you all know, we are recording today's session. I do want to let everyone know that so they can go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this replay with somebody who may need it because we're going to be talking about a lot of personal things, personal experiences today. Don't want these ladies to be going, too far because we are recording, ladies, just so you all know, we are recording today's session and we will post it on our YouTube channel so that can help some more people because that's truly why we're here. These ladies didn't just carve out 2 hours of their day for fun. They're doing this truly to help people in real estate investing. That's really that's their passion, right? Like I wanted to just kind of touch on that really quick and obviously welcome you ladies to our webinar. Some of you have been on here before, some of you have not, but there is obviously something that ties all of these very successful and powerhouse women together, and that's why I had them on the webinar today. I actually was getting emails and texts from you guys saying like, where's so and so, where's this other, all these, because we have so many powerful and very successful women in our REIA. So I actually had some of you guys emailing, where is so and so, where is so and so, and so it's not easy to pick, and we have to make sure that we give everybody the opportunity to come on here and share their experience. But everyone will have a chance, as long as you're killing it, you'll have a chance. But some of you guys may wonder, what ties these women together. But of course, they're all women. That's obvious. And, but let's be real, real estate has become their passion. It's not just a business for them, it's their purpose. And each of them has built a career that fuels their success, their families, and their futures. So, what else do they have in common, you may ask? Well, they are all members of the Next Million Mastermind. And some of you may ask, what is the Next Millionaire Mastermind? And the Next Million Mastermind is a high-level community of professionals who are committed to scaling their businesses, sharpening their strategies, and pushing themselves beyond their comfort zone. So, with that being said, each of these women have just freshly come off the hot seat. And so, what is the hot seat? The hot seat experience is where each one of these ladies that you see on the screen right here, they've all received unfiltered, high impact feedback to help them level up their businesses. So, the hot seat is both an exhilarating but very humbling experience. So the growth that you can, get from this is, as you can probably see, is undeniable. So before we dive in today's session, I wanted to ask just as like an icebreaker because some of them have been on the webinar, some of them have not, but I would love for each one of you ladies to give me one word that describes how you felt to be in the Next Millionaire Mastermind hot seat. So anyone can go first.
I would say humbled.
I love it. I agree. It's humbling just to like be a witness because it takes a lot of courage to put yourself in a position like that. And that's really where the growth happens, if you ask me. That's where the transformation happens. So I love it.
Absolutely.
Love it.
I would say supported.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much. That's great.
I'd say resilience because you see how far you've come, but like we talked about this morning, there's so much further to go. And with the accountability systems, it really shows how much resilience you have to keep moving forward.
I'm obsessed.
For me, it would be excited. I always look forward to the feedback from the group and everyone there. It's very insightful and it really makes you think about the possibilities. So excitement is for me.
I love your responses. So absolutely incredible. So, you guys, I'm gonna let these ladies kind of introduce themselves, but as they introduce themselves, I want to let everybody in the audience know if you have any questions or if you have kind of like an expectation of what you want to get out of this webinar, what you want to learn from the ladies, please feel free to put that in the Q&A box, just so I don't miss it because the chat is running a little bit quick right now. But you guys, we want to make sure that we make this interactive and that I'm asking these ladies questions that you really want to know the answers to. So please let us know in the Q&A. I don't know if I let you guys know that already. So just to get you guys more familiar with the ladies here, I would love you guys to let me know how you got started in real estate and just like a brief background on each and every one of you because I did not do that. So yes, please. We can start with Shailene actually.
All right. I got started in real estate 2014, and I was in a whole bunch of culinary school debt. And I was, studying how do I get rich? And I was a caterer. So I said, how do I start hosting the parties instead of working the parties? And studying wealth, it was like basically stocks, business, or real estate. And I said, I have no stomach to lose money in the stocks. And building a business sounds really hard. So let's just buy real estate. And that's where I decided. I started as a realtor, and then the REIA really helped me with all the people I needed, and the vendors and the deals, all came to me through the REIAs.
Love that. Love that. So if you guys didn't know, Shailene is over in the North Carolina Charlotte REIA. So I'm so happy that somehow you got the message to find your local REIA, just like everyone in this webinar right now. So claps for you. And also, yeah, what Anish put in the chat is really, really impressive. It's true. The whole volunteering and everything that you do is incredible. So love to get into that in a little bit. But Cynthia, if you don't mind letting us know how you got started in real estate and kind of just a little brief intro to who you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, first off, thank you, Alexa and Anish, for having me here. I'm honored to be sitting with these other beautiful women up here that are so strong and powerful in their industries. So it's an honor. So I got into it about 7 years ago. My story is a little different. I have been a music director in churches all my life, and I ended up buying a commercial property. I knew nothing about real estate. Commercial Real Estate for Dummies, that book got me there, and some really strong relationships. And after that, I got the education for buying multifamily. And that's when I became a multifamily investor. And so I'm currently in 4 states. We have over $25 million worth of portfolio that I manage those assets. And then I just launched my R3 Ignite. So it is my education program to teach multifamily through relationships and resilience and returns for women to buy smaller properties that are usually under 50 units or less. And so that's how I got into it, and that's where I am now. And it's a thriving industry.
So my God, it's so awesome. So many awesome things going on with you all, ladies. So Aisha, please let us know how you got started in real estate and a little bit more about you because I'm just like, I want to keep going. I want to keep diving in. I'm so excited.
Sure. So good morning, everyone. So happy to be here amongst great women. So after moving to South Florida from New York, I was just intrigued by the model home. So I think I visited almost every single model home community there in like the West Miramar, West Pembroke Pines area. So that piqued my interest in real estate. So from there, I got my mortgage brokerage license and then later my real estate license. Over time, I transitioned into the investment side of real estate. I was up late one night, saw an infomercial, and they were talking about real estate investing and wholesaling. Signed up, went to the introductory meeting, which was for about an hour or two, went to the weekend event. Of course, they upsold you. Went to that. And the main thing that I got out of that was join your local REIA. At that time, I didn't even know what a REIA was. So I Googled it, which led me to BREIA and had some, had amazing mentors there. Bria, Bill, Dave moving to Drea with Viju and Jim. So, that's how I got started. Currently, I primarily focus on buying and selling properties. I leverage my expertise to create opportunity and transform properties and pretty much maximize value. So, I pretty much specialize in um, providing investors with highly discounted properties for their fix and flips, and also with opportunities to build their portfolios.
So awesome. Oh, love it. Alrighty, Esther, let us know how you got started in real estate and just a
Good
little bit.
morning. And again, I'm also very honored to be part of this panel with all these amazing women. And I got started with real estate when I purchased my first home 20 years ago. And I did not have the best experience. And of course, I thought there's a lack here of some things that I want to be part of and do it better. And I love building relationship and connecting with people and helping them make their educated decisions when it comes to the biggest purchase or sale of their lives for the most part. And so that's what's gotten me into also getting into investing and exploring different options.
I love it. So that is just a little taste of what's going on in these ladies' worlds, but obviously there's much, much more. So many dimensions, layers, just many, many parts of their lives are intertwined. And I say that because they're all mothers. They are all, having a family and multiple things going on in their life. So that brings me to ask each one of you, I'll ask each one of you one more question, then I'll kind of nitpick and things. But how do you all balance real estate investing with all of the other responsibilities that you have already without burnout? Or yeah, tell us a little bit more about that, please. And whoever can go first. Seriously, there's no rules in this webinar,
I
but
would
no
like
fight.
to I would like to touch on that.
Yeah,
I think it's almost a little bit of a myth to think that we can do it all. We can do a lot as women, a lot, but we certainly cannot do it all without burnout. And that's, I think, building a team, having leverage. And that's one of the things that the BPM REIA has helped me personally to realize that I can delegate and still get the job done and still be successful and be able to have even me time. So that's the best way for me to put that.
I love it. I love it. Anyone else?
I'll add on to that. I think the biggest way to avoid a burnout is asking for help. Your team, could be in work, but it could be help around the house. It could be help from anyone. Like just trying to acknowledge that I have a vision for how I want things to look, and surrendering, how that looks, how it got there doesn't necessarily mean I have to create it. And then if I ask for help and someone does it a little bit differently than I would have preferred, just letting go and just appreciate being so grateful, for what we have first of all helps us I'm sorry, the poll just distracted me. But being grateful for the help, really allows us to let the energy flow, whether it's a mistake or we call a mistake is, everything's on maybe not my timing. I'm just here to hold the vision and inspire people, my family to get it done.
I love it. Esther, Shailene, amazing responses. So true. We can't do it all and we have to ask for help. It's just the straight facts. So,
Can I
Cynthia,
jump in, Alexa? Yeah. So to just piggyback on what they're saying, there's only so many hours in a day. And women, I think we wear so many hats and there's just so much to do. And we do want to try to do it all. But I think for me, because most of all those years, when I was changing and going into real estate, I was a single mom to triplet boys. And there was a lot going on. And I think for me, sitting down and truly having your priorities set. What are your priorities? What are your goals? And that goal, because it's just like we come back and we're like, oh, we could do this, or we could do that, or we could do this, or we could do that. It's You got to pinpoint that goal. You got to be a sharpshooter and not a shotgun, right? You got to pinpoint the goal, and then every action you take only supports that goal. So when you start drifting over and go, well, you know what I could do? I could go over here and do this, or I could start this new thing, or I could go volunteer. Does it fit the goal? And the goal is wrapped around your priorities, whether it's faith, husband, children, job, whatever that priority is, everything goes back to the goal. And if you're dreaming off on other things, you got to get back or you will get burned out because you're just spinning and not accomplishing anything. So,
I love that focus so much, and it just reminds me of myself and how I learn and how I accomplish things that I want to do. I have to write it down. First of all, I have to write it down, and then I have to remind myself what is the goal and make sure that still is matching. So that is so true and incredible. Aisha, you have
Yeah,
any?
one of the things that we have to do, especially as women, is make a conscious effort to take care of us first. And for many years, I thought that was selfish, but that's definitely not selfish because you can't pour from an empty cup. What is
This,
one of the first things they tell us when we're on an airplane, secure yourself first, because if you're not pouring into you first, I'm pretty sure from my experience you're not going to be able to effectively pour into others. So just taking care of yourself first, making time up, for yourself to take care of your whether it be goals regarding your faith, whether it be health and fitness, whether it be personal development. That's extremely important. And that definitely helps when you have those things into perspective, and when you have clarity, then that would help to minimize burnout.
yes. Oh, that just like I literally just got chills from that because it's so true. And that really brings me to the whole thing that we do in the Next Mill Mastermind about the life wheel. Like that is so like just because it's a visual thing, you're seeing all the parts and you're like, oh shoot, I might be a two on that. I might be a five on that, and I might be a three on that. So it's really awesome that, in the Next Mill Mastermind, we can actually like break each part down and truly rate ourselves and then go back in 6 months, do it again and see how we've improved on all those little pieces because it's true. Like you have to have balance. Like I'm not a mom, guys. I'll be completely honest. I'm not there yet, but I can only imagine. I can only speak of, I see my mom, she has her business, she has her full-time job, she has her family, she's got a husband, she's all the things. So I see her and I'm just like, it takes focus and it takes really just being intentional on each part and making sure that you do the things that you want. If you don't if you don't want to have that business, no problem. But that's not us. So that's why we're here and we want to learn what you guys are doing and what you guys do because you're all doing it the right way. So I do want to get into something a little bit, it may or may not be sensitive. It's probably one of the more sensitive things that I'll bring up today. And I don't want you ladies to speak on anything that makes you uncomfortable, but if you do have something that, that you've experienced that could be helpful here in this webinar. We have a lot of ladies in this webinar today, so I want to take that into account. But I know that there's obviously gender bias in real estate. It's typically a men dominated industry, but I would love to know how you ladies handled any situation that was kind of a little bit weird in the whole gender barrier, gender biases, negotiations, anything like that that you've maybe experienced personally that may be, helpful for any of the ladies here in the webinar. I would love to, I don't want to, pry too much, but if you have something that you experienced personally that helpful, funny, doesn't have to be too serious, but anything, I would love to hear from you. So, and again, any of you ladies can totally chime in the chat. I'm kind of looking at the chat right now. And also, if you do have questions for these ladies, I do want to remind you all to put those in the Q&A box. So, yes, anyone here and anyone of you ladies dealt with any, weirdness that you can probably like give some helpful advice on how to go about that in business.
Yeah, I think there are definitely some systemic barriers that requires, tenacity to overcome, right? For example, some people, because I'm a woman and a minority woman, they may feel that I'm less qualified or less knowledgeable than my male counterparts. But after speaking with them, they, quickly realize that, that's not so. I've been in the industry, for a while, and I am knowledgeable about certain things, and I've also experienced different market cycles, which enables me to be more well-rounded. So, they may I think a lot of people may look at me and think I'm, simple, for example, which I am in certain aspects,
I mean, you
but
do look like you're 21, so like, like
thank you.
I mean, you look like you're like 20 years old. So just you do have a ton of experience, which is not, it's like you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Perfect example right there with Aisha. Like,
Yeah, and sometimes in negotiations, people may think, they could, get one over on me, but they realize they definitely realize I'm cool, but don't mess with me.
oh my gosh, what a, yep, learning lesson there. They may judge you, but just go with confidence and go with the knowledge that you have and the experience, and you'll be just fine. So, anyone else? Any other weirdness that you've experienced and just kind of anything that
Wow.
can help navigate that?
For me, there's a list of things that I can touch on.
Oh,
I've been in and out of this for about 20 years, so I have a lot of experiences on these things. And I'd say for me and in general, anyone that carries themselves with confidence, and confidence comes from mindset and preparedness. And I don't think you need to be in their face about it. Just let them underestimate you and just stand with your conviction and do what you got to do. And, you have to remember that their personal, what they choose to bring to the table has nothing to do with you. It's really on them, how they feel, but it doesn't change who you are at the core. So stay true to yourself, know your stuff, be confident, and have a positive mindset and stick to what you know, and don't compromise yourself because that's when I feel that that's when you become weak.
hmm.
Just you know what you know and stick to it.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
kind of like on the flip side of that, Esther, when they underestimate you, do you ever kind of like use that to
Oh,
your
heck
advantage?
yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Like
You
that
know,
was
and you and I use my femininity also to kind of like, hey, you know what? You got to use all your tools, and
I agree
I'm
though.
not
It's like
saying I'm not saying put yourself out there. I'm just saying use your feminine power in order to accomplish things with your softness. You don't have to be hard about it, but there's a difference between being hard and firm on your convictions, if that makes any sense.
absolutely, it does. And like I think that's really important that we do use our own strengths. Like that's like what we have inside of our soul. We're women. We need to use our
Yes,
femininity every day in certain situations. We turn it on here, we turn it off there. We adjust, we go, we go with the flow and we have to just, if there's a door, we're gonna walk through it if that's the door for us.
sure. I
So
think as moms and wives, we learn so many things on how to read our family and how to accommodate, and that we can kind of transfer that into the business world as well on how to handle people.
that I know.
I agree. I want to just jump in and second what they're all saying is about you've got to have that confidence. You've got to know your business
Yes,
because if you do go in and try to wing it, they're going to smell that and then you're going to lose your credibility. But for me, so in my industry, most brokers are male. And here's the great thing, when you have your own company, you have the freedom to say no. I don't want to work with you. And we had a broker that was one of the first brokers I'd ever talked to that was so demeaning to me and treated me just like I didn't know anything and was kind of hostile. And when I got off the phone with him, I went, yeah, I'll never do a deal with you. Because can you imagine if I tried to do a deal with him? It would be a headache from start to finish. And that's the great thing when you have your own business. You can say, no, I don't want to work with you. And you move on to the next broker you have a great relationship with. So
yeah.
you have freedom.
I love that so much. Oh, and that's why we needed to have you ladies here because there may be somebody in this webinar right now, like wondering if should I open that business? Should I take the next step in my company? Should I do this? Like, and they might just have that one little hesitation that something you all say and like something that you all have been through like really helps them get over that fear or limitation or something like that because gosh, the mind can really do its thing on us. And again, like that is one of our powers as women. We have that emotional capacity. We can really differentiate, when it's, useful and not. But it can do its thing. So, I really wanted to kind of get into a little bit other topics here, but I do want to know a little bit more about the hot seat stuff with you ladies. Like, I know, Cynthia, you help so many investors like grow their portfolios. How has being in the Next Mill Mastermind sharpened your strategies or, changed your perspective? And like, I know you work with both men and women investing. Like, do you think like women approach real estate investing differently? Like, how can we use, us being women like to our advantage in your world?
Yes. So the hot seat it can get a little hot. It can get a little challenging. I think the greatest thing I took away from this was with my uh, industry again with multifamily, I am in my lane. I know all things multifamily. And the great thing about the Next Million Mastermind is that you're in with people from all different types of real estate industry. And so when I had a kind of a challenge, an obstacle that I was trying to overcome, everybody in the room was like, well, how about this or how about that? And they brought to me, it was like being in a whole nother lane and getting advice from people that are doing things a little differently in other industries, but I can take that and bring it over into mine. So it opens up this whole world. And I think as a woman, we aren't afraid to learn. We aren't afraid to take all of that in. There's no defensiveness. It was just like, help me learn because I want to be the best person and best investor that I can be. So that's where the hot seat was really great for me this time.
Oh my goodness. And then just like being a woman in that room too, it's like I think there's mostly men in the mastermind as well. So it's just so great that we even have like the opportunity to do that. So I actually love that. So Esther, I would love to hear more about we talked about it offline a little bit. So I wanted to get more into what we kind of talked about a little bit. Wanted to save it for when we came on here. But Esther, I know your expertise is in luxury real estate. You completed the certification for the luxury program. I forgot what exactly it's called, but that training that you did, you ultimately chose a different path. So I
I
would
did.
love to hear a little bit more about that. And I would love to hear like if anything that you've been through in the hot seat at Next Mill Mastermind helped, clarify or like reinforce that decision for you. And just a little bit more about that. In the
So
in the name of
yes.
the training. I would love to know that.
So I did do the Certified Luxury Institute marketing expert. And the reason I chose not to do it at the time that I did the certification is because when you enter that market at that price point, the marketing and everything is higher as well. It's a different approach to the marketing that we do with the lower price point homes. And so at that time, I was not in that space to do that. It's something that I may explore later on because I do have a circle of friends that are at the higher price point. That could be my clients. So it would be an easy transition for me. I just chose that at that time. And the hot seat just reinforced the path that I'm taking to be independent and become an investor because I want to rely on my choices. I don't want to rely on someone else telling me this is what you have to do or not do. So I feel that I have more autonomy by continue to grow on that end.
Absolutely.
And with the hot seat, it definitely has helped support that journey that I want to go.
And just a little bit more about that. I know that you faced a lot. You've overcome
Yes.
a lot of personal challenges and also professional challenges. And I commend you and I look up to you so much. And I'm just so proud of you. And I just love that we get to like see this like raw and unfiltered version of you through, the mastermind, which is really, really cool. But I know that, this has probably impacted your career, and I'm just curious, how that has impacted your real estate business and just, any other sharing points about that that could help any other women that may
Sure,
experience similar.
sure. So I'm an open book. I have no issues with sharing my experience because I think being open can help someone else. I was diagnosed with breast cancer last year, so I had to put everything business-wise on pause. And again, I always go back to the mindset because even when I was going through that journey of healing through of from the breast cancer and surgeries and chemo and all those things, I still kept connected and engaged with everything in real estate to all the webinars. And I just kept going at a slower pace, but I still kept going and kept always with that vision, that tunnel vision of like, this is where I'm going and nothing's going to stop me, period. And here I am, just jumping back on the seat and going forward. It all comes down to mindset, no matter what business you're in, no matter what challenge you're going through. Just having positivity and faith in, for me, as God, and faith in that God didn't put this in my mind for no reason. There's a mission for me to complete. So, yes, there's always going to be challenges, different challenges for different people. It's just how much, like Cynthia was saying, what is your focus? What are you going to narrow in on? And don't let all the distractions, whether, I mean, what I was going through is not a distraction. It's something that I had to deal with. But there are other things that are just distraction. And if you let it, it'll take you off your game. You just have to have that mindset and just keep going. And just how much do you want it, you know?
Oh, that is so good. Thank you
So
so much, Esther, for sharing. We appreciate your vulnerability so much. And that is so, so true. Like, how much do you want it? Like, how much do you want it? Like, if that's like, if anyone leaves with anything today, like, that's such a good nugget, Like, I love that. So, thank you so much for sharing that, Esther.
thank you.
Aisha, I know. Okay, so. I loved the way that you described your business. Like, I obviously consider you like a wholesaling expert, like so good at what you do. But the way that you described your business was so awesome. So I'd love for you to like kind of repeat that for everyone because that's insane. We have a lot of wholesaling people in our REIA since it's something that we do specialize in here at BPM REIA is wholesaling. So I know a lot about it. I know it's all about fast pace, moving fast, making smart deals. Analyzing. I'm definitely curious to know how has being like more associated with like different levels of real estate investors in the mastermind, in the different RIAs, in all the different groups that you're in, like does that like enhance your business or does it kind of like challenge the way that you approach your deals and strategy? How does that kind of work out for you? Does it like make it better that there's more wholesalers, less wholesalers? So yeah, I'm curious to know your thoughts on that.
Yes, so I don't really, focus on whether there's more or less. I just, stay in my lane and try to be the best at what I do, continuously improving. Being around the Next Mill Mastermind Fab Five and members, it has just been an amazing experience because being an entrepreneur is oftentimes a lonely business. So just having, some amazing people to share certain things with, certain experiences, with helping you level up, it makes a world of a difference. Sorry. One thing I know is that if you want to be who you've always been, then do what you've always done. If you want to change who you are, you have to change what you do, change, who you associate yourself with, professional wise, as well. Being on the well, my hot seat was definitely hot. It really has made me, it really challenged my entire approach to do deals, and it's transformed the entire approach of how the business is ran, right? So it has really highlighted how leveraging advanced technology, for example, can make operations more efficient and save tremendous amount of time making more money. I'm not a techie person, but based on where the world is going, you can't just let that be an excuse. For a while I was like, oh, I'm not a techie person. You have to learn. You
Yep.
have to learn, or
Get
in
left
my
behind.
Jamaican dialect, if you don't learn, you're going to get left. That's true. You really have to learn. You really have to make a conscious effort to do different things. So just being in the mastermind and it really has helped me to get outside of my comfort zone. For the things that you say you want to do, they ensure that you do it. Typical example, I have never been a big social media person, but I said, oh, I'm going to post more. And they make sure that you post more. So I'm like posting, my workouts, posting reels, going on Canva. I'm just learning how to leverage AI, as I mentioned, as well, using, advanced technology for certain things, which has been helpful,
Yes.
tremendously helpful.
So many incredible tools these days. Like
Yes.
like Aisha said, guys, Canva, you have to be on social media. Like, okay, you don't want to post your face, no problem. Post something else though. You have to you have to be on, so you have to have a presence. Like, it really does, help legitimize your business. So if you
Yes.
are looking to start a business, you're looking to have your own real estate investing business, you really should have some social media to back it up and to prove it. So I just love that you're willing and ready to expand. You're not scared that you don't know the technology. That's exactly how I felt when even ChatGPT came out. Like, I was like, I'm not going to do this. Like, no. Like, I'm a great writer. Like, I can do this. No, absolutely not. It has helped maximize
Yes.
my time so much. I am
Hmm.
so much more productive, exponentially productive. So but yes, please, like Anish said in the chat right now, if you guys have questions, please put those in the Q&A, because these ladies are dropping some fire, and I appreciate all of the positive feedback in the chat. You guys are so awesome. So Aisha, oh my gosh. So you're somebody who helps people build profitable portfolios. What's something that you've learned? I don't know, in the last, it could be like in the hot seat last week, it could be in the last couple years, it could be from somebody within BPM REIA, anyone that you've met, like, that, something that you learned that you didn't expect. I'm like
Oh,
curious.
one of the things that I definitely learned that I didn't expect is, I mean, the next mill people, they care about you having a life. I'm
Oh,
like, who does that? Typically, it's all about numbers and analytics and, scaling, but they want to make sure that everything is balanced. They want to make sure that you're not, succeeding in business, but you're, struggling or failing miserably at your relationships or at your home life, or you're not taking time for yourself, not taking vacations. So that's like just overall a holistic perspective. That's what they focus on, and not just the business side. And they make sure that we have fun. We have a lot of fun with each other
I
when we're
know.
at events, as you may see. So that's very important. That has helped quite a bit. I was not expecting that at all, and I just love the feeling that it gives me.
Absolutely. Well, when you ladies work hard, you got to play hard. I mean, that's, you got to keep that balance, like you said. And that brings me to my last but not least, Shailene. The, you are just the everything, the investor, the mom, the athlete, the volunteer, just like everything, lifestyle. I think I'm gonna call you the lifestyle design coach. That's what I'm gonna call you. So and honestly, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that too, Shailene, but you're all about building a life and a business that supports your lifestyle, which I absolutely love and I admire so much. I do want to know, if your time being in the mastermind, your time being involved in the RIA, how that challenged your, balance and pushed you to, do this, to get involved more in the RIAs and the mastermind and more things. Like how is your lifestyle and what you do in your life like, how are you? Just tell us that.
I have to keep a very tight schedule. Like that is just the plain answer for it. Like, and especially with kids having a definite start and end time of school, like there are hard stops in my life. And fitting these things in is part of my vision of what's important. If I have only so many slots in my day that are available, that are not for being with my family or my husband, or my gym time is very important to me, my self reflection time once a week, to go out in the woods for 2 hours and just like tune myself for the vibes of trees. Like I have maybe, specific slots that things just fall into. And I have to ask, like, does this move the needle? Does this get me closer to my vision of my life or my business goals or what have you? And if not, then it needs to be cut altogether or, drastically shortened. Might not be able to meet as many people for coffee, but I can maybe answer a question over, a 5-minute phone call or something. And I really love that we're celebrating the whole life approach in this Next Mill Mastermind, because so often they'll just, some business, advice would be like, just make 100 offers and stay up until 2 a.m. and doing it, and like just push yourself and just get it done until it's done. And that's just not the feminine, right? That's just not, we can do it. I'm not going to, say we
Yeah,
can't, but it's not the
doesn't
natural
feel
flow
right.
for us. It doesn't produce, what we're, more geared towards producing. So I just have to be really focused on, is this important? Does this move the needle? And does it fit?
Oh gosh, and
Everything I say yes to, I have to say no to something else. And so it was like, that's what I have to look at it as.
you can tell, like if you go on Shaylene's, social media, you can see this woman is just constantly doing the most in the best way possible. So that brings me to, many women, they deal with or they struggle with imposter syndrome. Like I have been very guilty of that. So, especially when, stepping into leadership roles, I resonate with that so much. Just being in the position that I am in, I don't take it lightly one bit. And so that's why it is my duty, and like that's what gets me up every morning, is being able to, have like literally it feels like out of body experience to be even hosting this webinar right now. So, I don't take it lightly, and I really am just here to bring as much value to the people around me and to the BPM REIA community. So, I am curious, Shailene, what's one insight, from the mastermind, again, from the RIAs, from the communities that you're in, from the volunteering, helped really push you through, the hard things in life. It's not easy to juggle everything: business, family, success, deals. I'm curious, how, or like what's like one thing, one insight that's really helped push you through, everything that you go through and that you challenge yourself with. It's just incredible.
It'd probably go back to be like having that in my back of my mind. I don't have to do everything myself. I can ask for help, um, kind of a thing. I guess the short answer of it. How do I
Do
do
you
everything? I just kind of, put everything in its time slots and like, this is what I need to accomplish by this. And, if I cannot, who can help me?
Absolutely. And I like that you keep it just really simple. Like you like does your husband or do you have like a business partner, or like does your spouse help you with your business and real estate at all?
Yeah, he is everything. I mean, he's, of course, supporting me while I'm at the mastermind, taking care of the kids and making sure they get all their extracurricular activities in. And I feel so, certain that I don't have to be telling him, don't forget this, don't forget that. Like he's got it. And so he's a rock there, but he's also a general contractor. So we partner, he's got his business, I've got my business, but really like we are so intertwined with like, here's, this house needs to be turned over. This one's vacant. This one's going to be a great flip. And he has the whole visual part of the real estate, right? So I can do the numbers and I can do the getting to know the people who have a motivating factor for why they would sell at a discount. And I'm the people person, but he goes in there and he's like, oh, we could do this kind of color floors and we could paint it, and like, look at this ceiling fan, it does the thing. And I'm like, the ceiling fan's not broke, like, do we have to replace it? So I really need that balance, right? That he has like that really creative, beautiful, design side, that he could see things that are not there. And I have all the money, the numbers, and then the people part. Like, it's really awesome. He's found me a lot of deals from other people who asked him to repair their houses. So definitely we are, I would say, a power couple.
I would
It's
say a
amazing
power
to have this
couple.
man by my side.
That is
Very lucky.
so cool, Shailene. Like, I always wondered, just like, how does she do this? Like, so cool. And can you just like expand a little bit more on what you do at the RIA? And like, I just want to let you guys know that I virtually met Shailene a couple years ago through a webinar, but we actually got to meet face to face last year in Charlotte, in her hometown, at the National RIA conference. So just let everybody know kind of like what you do in the RIAs, and like what inspires you to like be involved with the local RIA.
Yeah, and just a little correction. I'm in Greensboro, or the Triad RIA. It's about 90 minutes away from
Yes.
there, but no big deal. But just for accuracy's sake, right?
Yes.
But I've been in there for so long because, let's see. Well, what I do there right now, and my job is to put on our annual expo, which is kind of our vendor trade show. We have it once a year, and I love, love, love that, because events, right? Catering, hosting opportunities for relationships to be created when we work together. Like, it's a huge benefit for, say, a painter to meet people who have hundreds of houses to paint over and over. Like, that's one person instead of marketing to how many houses you're going to paint. So I love, and then also, like, RIA helped me get started when I was, a transplant from New York as well. And I knew no one, I knew nothing about real estate. I was very broke. And RIA just kind of, I met my mentor. I met, like, coaching was super helpful for me. I met everyone I needed right there. And so I really believe in the power of the RIA, and our slogan, so to speak, is like, we're here for education and networking. And both of those things have grown me from like this little, 20 something with nothing to like, I'm grown up now. It's so great. Like, I've got a thriving business. I've got everyone I need. I love fostering those relationships. So I kind of feel like me giving back to my RIA offers the next, 20 something or whatever, a younger version of Shailene's who want to get started and to feel so supported that they can come in and grow a business if that's what their vision is and that's what their dream is. I've done also like setting up the education opportunities, like, hey, what should we learn about? We've worked a little bit through the professional housing provider designation. We haven't launched it yet, but I have helped work through, what that will look like and things. And let's see, I think that answers your question, but if I missed a part, let me know.
Oh, that's so cool. And I just love how involved you are at the RIA. Just, I don't know a lot of RIA leaders that are like us. So it's really cool to be able to be friends with you and also learn from you, especially because there's so much to learn from each and every one of you, which I do want to thank you so much for sharing, Shailene. But ladies, like, no particular order, like, let me know whoever wants to answer these. But I have a couple questions here, and please, everyone, feel free to chime in the Q&A box. We're more than happy to answer your questions. It could be to, directly for one of these ladies. They are all experts in different areas. So please let us know if you have any questions for them. And absolutely, like, they're going to completely plug in on their social media, everything they have at the end of the webinar. But I am curious, ladies, whoever can speak on this, no pressure, but I'm personally very curious about this. But I'm curious to know, how do you overcome fear and self-doubt and own your power in business? I know it's a little bit general, but like, personally, I'm curious to know how you all get through that stuff.
I declare myself, some people call them affirmations, but I absolutely declare who I am a stand for being in this world. And I don't let anyone or any negative self-talk interfere with that. And my declarations came from, I had a lot of limiting beliefs before, and I just wrote them down for a week. And I'm like, wow, I'm so hard on myself. And then I went through, and this was also, I was coached through this, but this forgiveness process, like I forgive myself for judging myself for being a bad mom because I'm out of town at a mastermind. Because the truth is, they are loved, they're fed, they're safe, they're supported. And I'm doing this from a love of myself, my business, and what it supports for our family, and attaching to that love, really. Like, and so I declare, it's probably, I don't know, like 36 declarations or something in the morning that is just unshakable. And if I ever find myself kind of drifting into that self-doubt or imposter syndrome, I kind of just repeat to myself, no, this is who Shailene is.
Oh, that is so powerful, Shailene.
Yeah.
I love affirmations and I love speaking it out into existence, and like just like training the brain to believe the things that you're saying is
Yeah.
just so helpful. So great
I
tip.
love that. I love to just what Shailene said. I think that's so important. And I think another aspect is surround yourself with people that support and believe in your vision. And that's what the mastermind does, what the RIAs do. When I was working in ministry, when I left to go do real estate, I tell you, my pastor told me, you will fail. He said, you will end up bankrupt. You are selfish to even think about doing this. Your children are going to starve. And I was just like, and there's a part of you that self-doubt kicks in and you start believing if there are people around you that are naysayers, you will believe that. It will creep in. Get rid of those people in your life. You can be friends with them, go to dinner with them, but do not share your visions and count on their support to make you succeed. So surround yourself with like-minded people that'll support your vision.
Such an incredible example. Thank you so much for sharing that, Cynthia. I
Yeah.
know that is like absolutely insane to think like somebody in, the spiritual religious space would bring
Yeah.
you down like that, but it could be anyone, right? Like it could be a family member, it could be like your most scary, like it could be your partner. So it is super important to, like she said, surround yourself with the right people, build that community through the RIAs, through, Next Mill Mastermind is an amazing place. Of course, you have to be qualified to get into that, but we are here for you guys. And that was such great advice, Cynthia. Thank you. And don't listen to those negative people.
Yeah,
Because
I want to chime in on that if I may
yes,
speak.
please, please.
I want to circle back to the imposter syndrome. I had a coach, a life coach, a couple of years ago. She was amazing. And being surrounded by other like-minded people that empower and support you, it is vital. It was a women's group only. And when I looked around, I saw all these powerful women doing all these amazing things. I was like, wow. And so one of the mind shifts is when you're feeling imposter syndrome, embrace that into being out of your comfort zone, which also means you're growing. If you're not feeling uncomfortable, if you're not feeling imposter syndrome, it's like, what are you doing? You're just being complacent. So actually embrace it and, take it in and put it as part of your power. And then for the fear, turn fear, like the bigger the fear, the more excitement for what's coming. Just, it's all about that mind shift. Like, why am I fearful? Oh, because it's huge. It's not just, if it was something I can do and it's not challenging me, I'm not going to feel fear. But if I feel fear, go for it fast and furious and just don't stop. The bigger the fear, the more exciting, the bigger the prize. That's that's my approach to it. And I just really wanted to share that because don't size down. Instead, embrace it and just like, bam, just go with it.
Thank you so much for sharing that, because that
Yeah.
makes me smile so much,
Yeah.
because that is like a great place to find hope in things that could feel scary.
Yeah.
So guys, like that was such beautiful advice from Esther. Like just switch it. Just switch it.
Switch it.
And, if you have to put a sticky note, if you have to put it, on your phone screen, if
Mhm.
you have to get it tattooed on your, no, I'm just kidding. But like whatever.
Daily affirmations like Shailene. I mean, I wake up at 4 a.m. every day, and that's the first thing. It's in my mirror. I probably have about 30 affirmations, and I'm brushing my teeth and I'm looking at it and going through it every morning, 4 a.m. first thing. So
All right.
there's power in that for sure.
Get the affirmations ready, everybody. That's the way. That's the way. So, I am getting questions in the Q&A, so I want to make sure I hit those because we only have, I believe, like maybe 15 minutes left here. So let's get to it in the Q&A. All right, ladies, let's see. If you have the answer for this, just come off the mic and let me know. But Sandra's asking here, what's a great book that you often go back to?
I would say Worthy by Jamie Kern Lima. I know you ladies have heard me speak about that book over and over and over. And it's so important because, I think all of us have, a little imposter syndrome, may have some doubts, some not feeling as confident at times, but that book really helps to embrace the importance of just working on yourself every day, being authentically you as well. It's just like so important. It helps you to get confidence as a woman. It really helps you to realize that you are worthy of certain opportunities. Typical example, just recently, I was featured on NBC 6 Money Chat speaking about real estate in South Florida. And maybe before reading that book or maybe having a different mindset, I would have, probably said, why me? But I realized that I am worthy, I have something to offer the world. And it was nervous. I was very nervous, but I said yes. And I went in, spoke, tried as much as possible to speak with confidence because I realized I'm not really doing this for me, so to speak. If it were for me, it would probably not get done, but it's just to impact other people out there, other women, to show them what's possible. I think that's very important.
Absolutely. So, Sandra, that book Worthy, if you want to text me, call me, email me. If you want me to, I'll send you a picture of the book cover because Aisha actually gave me that book and it is very exactly what she said. I second that, but it's a good book to reinforce. Like that's my word of that book. Like it reinforces what we should and already like what we should know and what we should be implementing already, but it's a good reminder and reinforcing that information. So thank you so much for that input. Any other books, ladies, that we need to share with the other people in the audience that
Yes,
change?
I personally love The Mountain Is You, and the author is Brianna Weiss. I was trying to look up her last name, how to say it. But The Mountain Is You is, again, I love obstacles because I love the challenge. And so you become your own mountain, and it speaks about challenges are always going to be there. How do you get through it? And
Yeah.
sometimes we're the biggest obstacle because we have doubts, imposter syndrome, XYZ, all these things, and there's nothing we can do.
So good. So good. Awesome. All right. I have more questions in the Q&A. But if you think of any other books, you can always toss that in the chat. And we can always post it in our private Facebook group. I'll make sure that I link that right now in the chat for you guys. Make sure that you request to join our private Facebook group so we can kind of collaborate on things like this. This is a great thing that we can collaborate on in the private Facebook group. So, alrighty, next question in the Q&A. Where are you guys seeing as far as interest rates go in today's market? Do you have any capital market websites you recommend going to for these numbers? Thanks so much in advance. And that's from Margarita. Anyone have thoughts?
I have thoughts.
Please share.
Interest rates kind of stink right now, at least in multifamily. I hope with the new administration who's very pro real estate that we're going to start to see those numbers come down a bit, but it is challenging right now to underwrite when we're still looking at in multifamily because it is a commercial underwriting through Fannie and Freddie Mac through agency lending. you're looking between 6.5% and 7% interest rates. If you're going to local banks, you could be up between 7 and 9% right now. So Fannie and Freddie Mac are usually the last to drop their rates. I mean, I know they've come down, well, they had come down a little bit. So, and I just really try to have relationships with brokers, with lending brokers. That's kind of who I call. I can do a lot of Googling on websites trying to find out what those rates are. But your best resource is to have a broker that you have a relationship with that you can call and really talk about those rates. Hey, what are you seeing? What are you seeing with the small banks? What are you seeing with agency lending? And they will keep you on track with what those criteria are going to be. Because that can make or break your underwriting right now.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. We really appreciate that feedback because I will tell you all right now, I am not the expert. All right. I just know them. I know who they are. I know who the experts are. So thank you so much, Cynthia. Alrighty, Ruby's here asking, how do you achieve success despite having limited funds to invest or join a program like BPM REIA's mentoring?
I want to jump in with that because that's kind of like my story, right? Like started so broke. And honestly, that is probably my biggest reason for success because having that lack of funds got me into creative thinking. And there's a line I love from Rich Dad Poor Dad that changed my whole life. Was saying, my poor dad said, I can't afford it. My rich dad said, how can I afford it? And that allows me to turn everything on its head, right? There's nothing that's not available to me without the right question and determination. If you're hungry for it, if you know without a hesitation in your mind that real estate investing is for you, you will find the way. You can find the money with that kind of hunger and creativity.
Absolutely. And that just like that really hit home right there because I don't know what my parents did, but somehow I was wired to already believe that. Like, how can I how can I get that thing? Not, oh, I can't have that thing. Like I never, and I'm still that way. Like I still don't tell myself that I can't not have anything because I'm just like, how can I, what do I need to do to get that thing? And what, like, how do I get there? So that's just like how my brain is, and it's just so weird. And what Anish just put in the chat again, like great book is the Who Not How. And you guys are putting some really good stuff in the chat box, so make sure you guys are checking that out too. But anyone else have feedback on that? That was a really great response, Shailene. Okay, I think that was awesome. So, alrighty, let's see. Sandra's here asking, how do you build your power team and what did you look for?
Some of it was
I
trial and error for sure. Some of it was, and it's like, well, I don't do, business like that anymore. And then we kind of go to find people who align with our newly discovered value. And then just asking, like RIA to me has been just one spot. There's lots of different networking groups and places, but when you see people who are doing what you want to do, like there's a difference between a contractor, like a cleaner is a contractor for an Airbnb company, or there's painters for your house, or there's painters like for the quick turns. So just asking, like, know what you want to accomplish, and then asking people who are already doing that, who do you know, and who should I know?
Yeah, that's a good point. Contractors can be tricky. But I am curious, like while we're on that point, what's one tactic that ensures you get like the respect and like fair pricing that you deserve when it comes to contractors, Shailene?
That's a really tough question.
I
Um, well,
know.
So some of it has some of it, I guess I have an advantage because it's like, well, if painting the house costs this on this house, why is it so much over here? And just using direct experience or saying, hey, if this guy's quoting me this number, why is yours so much higher? And just having those questions, it's very like to the point and maybe a little assertive, but you deserve to know, like, are these numbers just made up, or can you actually do it, for get married? Yeah, marry one. That's my one strategy.
No, that's so funny. I forgot that part.
But,
That's so
but fair pricing is just either getting multiple quotes or building a relationship, because like all contractors, well, all people don't like their time wasted, right? So they do not want to be, you know, can I get a quote on this? Can I get a quote on this? And you haven't even put it under contract yet. So they want to be sure, if you build a relationship with one, then he will give you the best pricing. You can give them more work over and over and over. Then that trust is there on both sides, right? So pay your bills on time, do what you say you're going to do, respect people's time, and then they will take care of you if you're taking care of them.
So true. So true. Anything to add on that, ladies?
Yeah, I would say having detailed contracts with payment schedules and clear completed milestones, and never pay the contractor for more work than they do ahead of time. How do I know that? Because we've definitely experienced it before. We had a situation at a property with a contractor. We pay them a little bit more than the work they done, and they were quote unquote in the Bahamas for a couple of weeks. And we had to end up getting a new contractor to finish the project, which costed time and also costed money. Another important thing for me is having multiple bids. And when they're measuring, make sure you're looking and measuring while they measure, because I've had situations, where, handyman was measuring, and luckily I was paying attention to what they were measuring because they were fudging the number. So, pay attention, pay attention.
Love that. Great advice. Great advice. All right, we got more questions. Thank you guys for putting those questions in the Q&A. We will keep diving in those, so keep putting them in. We're happy to help out here. This is why we're here, and we have only 10 minutes left. So make sure you get those questions in the Q&A box that you see in the in the Zoom menu down below or somewhere on your screen. All right, Lachey is asking here, what are some well thought out questions you should ask other real estate investors while networking at REIA? What questions give you the impression that the person is serious, even if they are a newbie? Great question, Lachey. All right, ladies. Anything, any feedback? We'll take it up. We'll take whatever we can get here.
So for me now in multifamily, which in the RIAs we don't always see too much multifamily, but in multifamily, the biggest thing that's going to make you not seem like a newbie is to get the right language. So we don't say units, we say doors. You have to know what's a cap rate. Brokers love to talk about cap rates. Other investors love to talk about cap rates. So know what a cap rate is. So there is a piece of education that you've got to get to talk the right language, and that will let you seem credible to other investors because they're going to know that language too.
And then on the other side of that, how do you make sure that the person you're networking with is credible and not a newbie?
Same thing. You ask a lot of questions. What does your portfolio look like? How are those returns? How long have you been in it? And then trust and verify. Everything in this business is trust and verify. I believe, especially women, we're very trustworthy. We want to love you and care for you and bring you in. It's a very natural part of our spirit, but trust and verify because you can get burned. And we all could probably tell a story of getting burned through our trustworthiness that we did not do the checking on the backside. So ask
I
lots of questions.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you can find out from them as well is, just simply ask, can you tell me a little bit about your past, few projects, 4 projects, 5 projects, whatever number, you decide to ask them about, and see how they speak about it. If they're knowledgeable, and you can also ask them what have been your challenges in dealing with that, because if someone is saying, oh, everything is 100% perfect,
Yeah, red
not in
flag.
real estate. Not in real estate. I have yet to do 100% perfect deal. There's always challenges, always problems that we have to solve, always situations that we have to overcome. So just asking questions is very important.
I love that. Thank you so much, ladies. Alrighty, Christy has a question for Aisha. What are the challenges you are facing as a real estate investor? P.S. You have a high potential in doing vlogs, which we've already told her she's amazing and she should have her own podcast. So we'll see what she does with that information. So yes, let us know, Aisha, what's the biggest challenge you're facing as an investor?
I think the biggest challenge that I'm facing as an investor is just pretty much delegating. Sometimes we have this mentality, if we want to get things done, we do it 100% ourselves. But I was listening to, I think it was a podcast several years ago, and one of the things they mentioned, if you can get somebody to do something at least 80% of how you can do it, then you should take advantage of that opportunity. We can't get everything done ourselves. We have to learn how to, delegate. Very important. And then with technology, leveraging technology as well is also very important. So there are going to be challenges, but just knowing, pretty much not like who to go to help you to, that's more knowledgeable than you are, that can help you to navigate those challenges.
Absolutely. That's what we do and everything we do here at the RIA. You guys, if you haven't noticed already, we learn through each other's experiences, and through each other's knowledge. So that is what we do here. Alrighty, Gina's asking, what was your aha moment when you started that got you fired up to continue RIA real estate investing business and get rid of your fear? Aha moments, ladies.
I
I
think that aha moment was the completion of the first deal, because I'm like, wow, this stuff works. And, I'm like, okay, I want to do this again and again and again. So a lot of time, that was proof of concept for me. And the more deals you do, the more comfortable you get, the more confident you get. So just knowing that this stuff works, that was a big aha moment. And just being around people that has accomplished way more that I have accomplished, that I could learn vicariously through, that is definitely important as well.
Absolutely. And all you ladies, that's such a great question to wrap up to. I would love to hear your aha moments, each and every one of you.
Yes. So when I hired my coach, my aha was like, I cannot fail. This person is so much more successful than me. And then there was also, he won't let me fail. Like, he's holding me accountable. I've invested in myself to make sure that the outcome will be my success. And also, he helped me realize there are people who are younger, poorer, dumber, less experienced, less accomplished than me who are doing it faster because they're just getting into action, right? And so I don't like to, promote comparison, but it's like, look, if they can do it, I can definitely do it.
It's so true. I tell myself that every day. Esther, your aha moment when you started that got you fired up to continue real estate investing and get
Yes.
here.
So, like they said also, when I was in the coaching program, I saw these women succeeding and doing what I wanted to do. I was like, there's no reason I can't do it. And I had the support, and I couldn't fail, um, even if I tried, because I was like always be in the room where you're not the one that knows everything. Someone, and again, surround yourself by those people that you look up to, and they're doing what you're doing, and there's absolutely no reason why you can't.
Great advice. Great advice. Alrighty.
And I
Cynthia.
don't work for it. I don't want to work for anyone, so I have to make it work.
Yeah,
Exactly
girl.
right. That's exactly right. To piggyback what Shailene was saying, I think that was the biggest thing. And of course, coming out of my situation at the church, that was, I don't like being told no very well. So it kind of really fired me up. That was my aha moment. Like, I'm going to succeed at this no matter what. And it has you putting, I love this quote, put yourself in a position where you can't retreat. And that's what I did. I quit my job, very little income coming in. I had to make this work. I had to get the things in place to make it work. And the great thing about multifamily, it's mailbox money. You can spend every dime in your account. From the first of the month, you're going to get another check and another check. And so that every month, that's a reminder, because while I'm out making my own schedule, working 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week, whatever I want to work, I get that money in there. And that helps me remember that "Man, I can do this. This is working. I'm getting, finances through this." And so I think that's why we do it. It's the great about the people you meet, the great people that you can touch their lives and hopefully motivate them, inspire them to start up their business. I mean, that's why I started this coaching program because, like what you all said, if I can do it, you can do it. I had
Yeah.
no real estate experience, so if I can do it, you can do it. You just got to set your mind to that mindset that I can do this and I can overcome that voice in my head that says you can't. You can overcome that fear. And you
Oh,
have accountability
okay.
and women like us that can help you get there.
Oh my gosh, Cynthia, that was amazing. And I am
Here we
so
go.
glad, like Margarita, she caught it too, the put yourself in a situation where you can't retreat. I love that. And one of our mentors at BPM REIA, Harry Diamond, he always says, burn the boats.
Mm, yeah.
It says burn the boat. So that was amazing. And
Essentially.
ladies, thank you so much. I can't believe it. It's already like we got to wrap this thing up. I have a winner for a membership. Somebody won a membership raffle in the webinar today. So let me pull that up really quick. But please, while I put up the raffle person, if each one of you ladies can drop in the chat your Instagram, Facebook page, if you can link your Facebook in there for them. I did record today's session, everybody. So please go subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, and go follow these ladies right now on social media because you're gonna want to stay in touch with them. And I did see quite a few of you in the chat box put in there that you wanted to get in touch with them. So that is going to be the best way how through social media. You're going to want to follow their journey, see what they're up to. They do post about deals and different things that they have going on in their life. So yes, please go ahead and drop in, plug in, ladies. Appreciate that. And my winner for the 1 year BPM REIA membership is, let me see, gotta pick a number really quick. All right, guys. My winner is Yvette F. Congratulations. I don't think you've won anything recently. That's usually what I have to check, but I'm on here, so I can't triple check, but I'm pretty sure you haven't won anything recently or ever. So congratulations. You won the 1 year membership for BPM REIA. I will get in touch with you on your membership. And thank you guys so much for joining our webinar today. Ladies, thank you so
Thank you for
incredibly
having
much.
us.
So much value, so
Is-
much. Oh my gosh, so many nuggets. Like your time is so precious. So we are so incredibly grateful that you took the time with us today. And if there's anything that I can ever do for you, you know my door is always open and can't wait and super grateful and eager to continue learning from each and every one of you. Have so much to offer. I look forward to having you guys back on the webinar again, hopefully soon. And yeah, just thank you so much. We really, really, really appreciate your time and everything. So
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Alexa. If you don't mind, can I just leave something
yes,
the
please.
viewers? This
Absolutely.
has been my thing for this year. Don't let time slip away. Don't let 365 days pass and you find
Oh, sorry, that was my fault. That was my fault. Tell her to stop it. Tell her to
and you
stop.
find yourself in the same place where you
I
started. Growth begins with a single decision to shed what no longer serves you and embrace what will carry you forward. Commit to growth today, and a year from now, you'll thank yourself for starting. Remember, transformation isn't easy, but it's always worth it. Step into your potential, take action, and make this year the year that you rise into the person you were meant to be. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever it is, just keep moving forward.
I love it.
So good. Oh, I love it so much. Thank you all Thank you, everyone in here, the gentlemen that came to the webinar. You guys are amazing. You guys are the smartest guys in the entire REIA. I commend you for joining all the ladies in here. Please feel free to introduce yourselves to these ladies at the next networking event, at the next workshop. If you ever see them in person, please don't be shy. Say hi to them. They are so friendly and just awesome ladies. So we hope to see you guys at the next quarterly meeting on April 2nd. Anyone who's in Boca this Thursday, we're having the workshop. Anyone who's in Miami-Dade, this Saturday, we're going to be in Doral. So please go to the website, go get registered, and go share this replay with somebody who needs to hear this information and learn from these awesome people. So thank you guys. We'll see you on we'll see you on online next week, but we'll see you guys on Thursday and have a great rest of your day. Thank you all so
Thank
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.